The most famous 3 Pokemon types: Fire, Grass, and of course Water. Everybody knows them. These are those 3 types that every starter Pokemon from the first edition up to now had in all Pokemon games. And now with our newest attendant, we finally completed the Kanto starters. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Blastoise. Finally, on September 1st, we got the possibility to play with Blastoise, the 3rd starter with the Water type in Pokemon Unite. If you don't know me, my name's Kay and welcome to the channel. If you know who I am, welcome back. And you know, I have a little bet for you, because if you can take anything interesting, helpful, or some tips, tricks, or strategies from this guide, I'd be tremendously happy if you could support this video with a like and the channel with a subscription. In this way, YouTube knows that this is some good content and more people can learn more about Pokemon Unite to play better and to climb those ranked ladders. With that said, let's start right into our Blastoise guide and let's have a look what our turtle friend has to offer for us. Blastoise has the difficulty intermediate in his ranged defender, using special attack type damage. With 3.5 stars in endurance, 3 in support and 2 in all the other categories, he's a true defender. Now let's take a closer look what he has to offer for us and how to fight with him most effectively in Pokemon Unite. When we're looking at the progression, we see we're starting out as Squirtle at level 1, evolving into Wartortle at level 5, and becoming Blastoise at level 9. The first 2 moves we have to our disposal are Water Gun and Skull Bash. Water Gun attacks with a shot of water, shoving enemy Pokemon away and decreasing their movement speed for a short time. Skull Bash fiercely rams enemy Pokemon and leaves them unable to act for a short time, and is also a dash. When starting out a Squirtle, I always recommend to use Water Gun. It's the more offensive ability and you have a good range to hit those Apens on the way to your lane. So either top or bottom lane, of course. We have to try out if jungle is any possibility for Blastoise. But you see, the first move helps you to hit on a good range and to hit, of course, multiple enemies to reach the top lane as quickly as possible. The second ability we have is Skull Bash, and you see it also has a good range, and when used we're charging up, dashing to the location, stunning our enemy, and having another ability to get away out of fights or into a fight if we need in the early game. But I have to say that Squirtle especially isn't as effective as the final form Blastoise, so I would just farm in the beginning, try to poke a little bit with your abilities and wait for your full power up when evolving finally. With the evolution to Wartortle, we get the choice between Hydro Pump and Water Spout. Hydro Pump lets us attacking by blasting out huge volume of water, dealing damage to the enemy Pokemon and again shoving them when the move hits. At level 11, we get the upgrade to Hydro Pump Plus. This increases the damage dealt by this move. The other option is Water Spout. This spouts water toward the designated location, decreasing not only the movement speed of the enemy Pokemon, but also dealing some damage. At level 11, we also get Water Spout Plus, and the upgrade also increases the damage dealt by this move. At level 5, with the evolution to Wartortle, we get our first enhanced ability, in this case Hydro Pump. You see, also the range is very good and we are shoving enemies away when we're hitting them, and all the enemies will be hit in the range of this attack. Again, good range and it's hitting all of them, so it's a very good move to get in the face of enemies, strike them down, and then to keep a little bit more distance when the move is hit, so now you can get away or just push the enemy to your team when it's needed. The other ability at level 5 is Water Spout, and I have to say I don't like it as much as Hydro Pump, at least if you're not using it with Shell Spin. But let's have a look at Water Spout itself. You see, we're trickling down an area of effect and some water comes down, striking those enemies in this area and all getting damage. I don't know if it's just a feeling, but I don't think it's as effective as Hydro Pump, because all the enemies will move out of this area. So if you have farm, you have to place it in front of them, or you have enemies, you have to place it in big team fights. But with the other ability, like I said, Shell Spin, we get some other possibilities to fight with, so we're gonna have a look at it in a minute. Coming up at level 7, the next 2 moves, either Surf or Rapid Spin. Surf lets us charge forward on a wave, shoving enemy Pokemon away and leaving them unable to act for a brief amount of time. We're becoming immune to hindrances while we're using this move, and we can jump in a designated direction once this move ends. So pressing the movement stick in the direction and then we jump there. At level 13 we get Surf Plus, which also grants a shield when this move hits. And the other ability is Rapid Spin. It's a buff and lets us spin rapidly, changing the mechanics of not only the basic attack, but also of Hydro Pump and Water Spout, depending on which move we've chosen. On level 13, we get Rapid Spin Plus, which also reduces the damage we're receiving while we're using this move. Level 7 is time for Surf, and we have the 4th Surf ability in the game right now, but this one is very good. You see, the range is very big and very far away, and when using it, let's start it here in the middle of the field, and starting, we're surfing almost the whole top middle part, and then when pushing the stick in a certain direction, we're jumping there. And the coolest thing, when we're taking an enemy, we're surfing against them and with them, so we can push them away, and the final wave will still hit behind of our attack, so we can deal damage on a very large range. Again, against those bees, let's get close to them, shoving them away, and the wave still goes further and would have struck the goal if somebody was here. And I have to say that at this time, Surf and Hydro Pump are my favorites, but we're gonna have a look at the other two moves, and you can decide which you want to take with you. But those two, again with Surf, getting those enemies away, and Hydro Pump to secure the KO, is very effective in my opinion and can be used very well when fighting with Blastoise. I know I've been talking about Shell Spin, but it's Rapid Spin. Sorry for that, so many shells, so many spins. But you see, when using Rapid Spin, we are getting our shell, moving around and hitting enemies in the area of effect. So it's automatic damage when using Rapid Spin again and having Water Spout. And with Water Spout, you have to keep it pressed. We are spouting water out of our shell and hitting enemies, multiple enemies, with heavy hits from our move. And that's improving the damage of Water Spout by 1,000,000. So combining it with Rapid Spin, we can use Water Spout effectively, and you see how much damage we're dealing to those bees. And when they are down, we can still strike them down with alternate basic attacks. Because when we're in the shell, we're striking once around, twice around, and then with multiple hits around the shell, and having such another moveset when using Rapid Spin. And now let's have a look at Rapid Spin and Hydro Pump, and this combination isn't as good in my opinion. Using Rapid Spin, we are spinning around again, and Hydro Pump just uses this attack once out of the shell. It hits for a bigger amount with one hit, but you can use it just one time and then the cooldown is already up again. In this case not, because I've disabled them, but again, using Rapid Spin and Hydro Pump, it hits once, it shoves them, but in my opinion, I think Water Spout is the more effective combo with Rapid Spin. And at level 9 with the evolution to Blastoise, we are unlocking our Unite move, Hydro Typhoon. This lets us spout water to attack while we're spinning, throwing enemy Pokemon in a large area, and we also get a shield. So that's the perfect ability for a strong defender like Blastoise. And level 9, we finally get the fully evolved form as Blastoise and also the Unite move. The Unite move is a stationary attack where we're spraying around water, hitting all the enemies and throwing them into the air. In this case we didn't, because the Corpfish was already down. This Apem doesn't have as much health as the other one, so let's try it again. Here you see we are hitting, striking them up, they're getting unable to act, and we are having some time to keep all the enemies at one point and waiting for our teammates to strike them down, or of course using our Unite move, combining it with Hydro Pump and or Surf, and so we have a really mobile turtle and have a good damage output, which also says why we could combine it with offensive health items. And of course we also get a passive ability, in this case it's Torrent. When we had half HP or less, the attack and special attack are increased. And the basic attack becomes boosted with every third hit, which deals continual damage and decreases the movement speed of enemy Pokemon for a short time when it hits. And one important factor isn't mentioned here, every time we're hitting enemies with a boosted attack, the cooldowns of our moves getting decreased. So maybe you thought, why are those cooldowns so high? Now you know it, because every time we hit with the boosted attack, they get decreased and we can attack more quickly and more effectively when hitting those attacks. Now let's talk quickly about the passive ability. You see, we're striking, we have the boosted attack ready, let's use Water Gun. The cooldown is 8 seconds, 7 seconds and so on. And now I missed the boosted one, but let's look at the cooldown and you see it's jumping down on the timer. And with every boosted attack, like we said, we're improving those cooldown times, which helps us to fight even quicker with our moves. Just to know, keep that in mind when you're looking at those numbers, always strike with your boosted attacks. Now it's time for the battle items, and if you know my guides, you know my favorite choice. Of course, it's again eject button. Even if you have a move like Surf as Blastoise, I always recommend going with eject button. Because every 70 seconds, we can charge, or dash in this case, in a designated direction, getting out of pesky situations or into a fight when we need it. All the other options are, in my opinion, subpar, because Blastoise, especially in the early game, will profit from the functionality of eject button. And now, my dear friends, you know what comes next. It's time for the question of the day. And since we finally have all the 3 starters of the Kanto region, I want to know, who is your favorite? Is it the Fire Lizard Charizard? Is it our big planty friend Venusaur? Or is our War Turtle Blastoise? Write it down into the comments. I want to know who's your favorite. In my case, it must be Charizard. It was the first Pokemon I got when I got the Red Edition first, and I'm still keeping with it. And of course, a build wouldn't be complete without the health items. And with Blastoise, I go full Defender. In this case, that means Body Barrier, not only because of the bonus HP, but because every time when we use our Unite move, we and our teammate with the lowest amount of HP will get a shield based on a certain percentage depending on the level of the item. That can help you out in big team fights, or of course when it's important to keep you and your teammates alive. The second one is Focus Band. You getting defense and special defense, very good with the defender, but also getting the possibility to regain some percentage of HP when you're below a certain threshold. That gives you not only the survivability in the beginning of the game, but of course later on too, because you have more defense and special defense, and those HP boosts are very, very good to have. And the third one is Score Shield. Not only the HP, but of course the Unbreakable Shield when you're trying to score down. This can be very effective because you also have the possibility to combine it with other shields. So when getting into it, we're getting a shield based on our health, which is very high because we're a defender. So we can stay at this goal and dunk those high scores even in the late game, and can so secure fights for us if needed. Of course, you can also play Blastoise a little bit more offensive. Like we've said, it's a special attack type damage. So items like Wise Glasses, or of course items like the Energy Amplifier or the special attack specs are possible. The damage isn't as high, like we said, it's a defender, but if you want to play it more offensively, you can use one of those options. Now we've seen that Blastoise is hiding much more than just cannons below its shell. We've learned everything about the moves, about the battle and health items, and how to play it most effectively in certain situations. The following scenes will show you some gameplay of mine where I've been using Blastoise, and I want to show you how you can use certain situations to your advantage, how to win, and how to dominate your enemies in Pokemon Unite. Have fun and let's have a look. Blastoise likes to shove enemies, and you see how effective this can be. With a good placed Surf, we can put 2 of the enemies into the middle ground, and with the help of our team, we can strike them down and have enough time to get back to the goal, heal up again, and secure this lane fight for us. This scene shows extremely well how much power we get with evolution to Blastoise at level 9. We are seeing that there is Absol and Venusaur. We are thinking about what we can do, then I jump in with the Surf. I'm waiting for the good occasion to hit ideally both. Hydro Pump dealing more damage, popping the Unite move. With Body Barrier we're getting the shield. Absol is down, Venusaur tries to get us down again, but Hydro Pump and the Surf combination deals enough damage to strike them both down, have enough time to get back, but then I a little bit miscalculated the move of Surf and I didn't get to the goal. Yeah, that's how it plays sometimes. And again, a very good demonstration how much we can shove the enemies with our 2 moves, Surf and Hydro Pump. Absol is behind our goal line. I didn't hit with Hydro Pump, but Surf shoves it away, and then we have the chance to keep it at our side long enough to get Mr. Mime on our side to help us strike it down, and so we can easily secure this KO. Now a change of moves with Rapid Spin and Water Spout, my favorite combination when working with Rapid Spin. And you're gonna see how much damage we can put out when you're combining it right. Getting into Rapid Spin, pressing Water Spout, Zero Aura doesn't stand a chance, and even Blissey, with that huge amount of HP, almost doesn't stand a chance. We have enough time to strike down those goal with a pesky little shot and securing this situation. And again, the combined power of Rapid Spin and Water Spout. We've lost Dreadnought, but we know that the enemies have now a huge pool of experience we can get. Together with our team, we're trying to wait for them, and now with Rapid Spin, getting into the fight, waiting a little bit more, then dropping Water Spout, and you see how quickly we are erasing them. But Greninja tries to fight back. We of course doesn't have as much output with our basic attack, but it's enough to secure it and to win. And again, here you can see what potential Blastoise has to deal good damage and to be a very good rock in the surf. We're fighting Rapid Spin, Water Spout, you know the combination. Cinderace is gone. Venusaur tries to get away and it succeeds with that, I have to say. But we're thinking, okay, the team is trying to surrender. We don't want to. Let's have a look at the goal. We have 40 points. And there is Venusaur again. What are we doing? Rapid Spin or Water Spout, of course. And we have the Unite move. So we should have it for the Zapdos fight. But in this case, I tried to stop Venusaur having enough time to score those 40 points. But then the enemy teams comes along and the plan fails. Finally, it was time. Blastoise has been released and so the Kanto trio has been completed. Dear ladies and gentlemen, you see, our newest blue big turtle defender is a real success. I really like to play with him, especially when combining it with the good movement and the strong attacks you get with Hydro Pump, or also the combination with Shell Spin and the other moves. I think it's a very good addition to the Defender roster, so we're getting more different Pokemon in this category, and the matches in Pokemon Unite start to really differentiate, because the more Pokemon we have, the more different the matches will be. But this was the guide for Blastoise. I hope you learned something new, exciting, tips, tricks or strategies how to play with it effectively. And I'm talking to you because I remember our bet from the beginning. If that's the case, I'd be tremendously happy, like I said, if you could support this video with a like and the channel as a whole with subscription. In this case, YouTube knows that this content is good, we can grow our Pokemon Unite community even further, and all of us can learn how to play this game most effectively and how to win those games to climb up the ranked ladders. What's my opinion? Which tier is Blastoise? I'll rank it up very high. I think it's at least A tier, but I have to play some more games to see if that will manifestate. In this case, that's everything I have to say. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Kay, and see you soon.